you consider what it actually takes to download a file from the internet. You've got to go from someone else's server all the way through all these intermediary servers, through physical cables, and land up on your computer. And this data has to go on this kind of grand quest. And so how does it do that? Well, one of the things it's doing there is it's splitting this data up into lots of little tiny packets and then sending them down this path, and they might take different paths. And so a way of trying to sort of visualize how this might work is imagine you've got 100 friends, and you've got to go on a big road trip with them. So you all jump in different cars because you can't fit in the same car, and you've all got different sat navs, and you start going down the road, and every time you hit a crossroads, you've got to make a decision, or your sat nav has to make a decision whether you're going to go left or right, or straight ahead. And let's say that because this road trip is very long, it doesn't really matter in some circumstances whether you go left or right. It's going to take the same amount of distance anyway. You're just going to go a slightly different route. And so 100 friends, they all go slightly different ways, but they're all kind of going to get to the thing at the end. They're all going to meet up at the end, right? But then eventually you get to a crossroads where you were supposed to go straight on, but that path is blocked. Like there's a traffic jam, it's not working, right? So then your sat nav has to go, oh no, we can't go that way, so we're going to go left instead. It'll just take a slightly longer route, but overall it'll be faster, right? So this is kind of how your data is getting across the internet. It's every time it hits a crossroads, it's hitting a router, and that router is then telling the data, this little packet of information, oh, you should take port A rather than port B because that's going to be faster for you. And it does this loads and loads of times, and it just sort of, lots of like tiny decisions allowing you to cross the internet, like a little sat nav telling a data where to go. Cheers.